Howdy y'all, and welcome to Jab Plays. Today we're playing the Satisfactory Plus No Handcrafting Challenge, and we're picking up where we left off. So last time we were together we unlocked the bigger Mark II blueprint maker, and we are going to do something with it. And we unlocked the ability to smelt ores. So we're going to show you, I promise you we're going to show you how that's done. But before we do that, we need to go into here and we need to get advanced steam production, because what I need is a steam stack. So let's go ahead and send this off to Ada to make her happy. And then what does a steam stack need? Because we're going to be putting one down, but I don't know what exactly I need for it or where it is. Is it under special? No, not under productions. Is it under logistics? No. Organization? No. Power? There it is. Alright, so it looks like I have everything that I need on hand to make that. Alright, cool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over here. I have an area that I want to show you how I want to test something, right? Remember I was telling you every time that we unlock the ability to do something, it stretches our resources further and further. Well, here's an example of I'm going to run a test, just to prove it, right? You don't have to take my word for it. We're going to prove it. So I've got a platform right here where I've got a crusher and some ore. Thanks. Hang on a second. Let me look in my pocket. Yeah, I have enough. All right. And I've got another platform over here where we're going to put the new setup up, and we're going to run a test in between the two of them. So what I have is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds sit right ore, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sit right ore. So I'm going to go ahead and take this 600, and just so you know that there's no shenanigans, we'll hit the sort button, and as you can see, all I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to plug this into this system over here, and this system will basically crush it and smelt it, and it should do a rate of 1-to-1, because coming in here it's 60 for 60, and then over here it's 30 for 30, so it's 1 for 1. So if we put 600 in, we should get 600 out, plus stone, right? So basically, here, let's get the drone out and I can walk you through it. So it's coming out of here, it's going into the crusher. The crusher is going to come over here, it's going to send a rock over into that storage facility right there. This is going to come in here, it's going to be split into 2 smelters. They're going to change it into ingots. That's going to merge. It's going to put it into this box. So just like that, you understand what's going on over there. So let's go ahead and get the drone put away. And where am I? Where am I, yo? So we're going to go over here and we're going to put down a blueprint. Now, remember I was telling you I needed the 5x5x5 blueprint because it's bigger and bigger is better. Well, here, I'll show you why bigger is better. Because this is the blueprint that I made. So we're going to put it, we'll tag it down there for a second. And we'll maneuver stuff around. Does that look good? No. maybe I want it on this square. Actually, no, I can't make up my mind. So let's see, I do want it there. Put that down. And what this is the what is this thing called? The flexible blast furnace. That's what it's called. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed 120 in. It's going to make 60 molten iron, right? It's going to come over here, and because it's got two outputs, we're merging them together. They're going to come in here. So this is making 60. This machine is going to take 60 molten iron plus 60 water to make 12 iron ingots and steam. All right, so first things first, let's get the steam thing down. Oh, my bad. We need a cooling platform first for the... Oh, good Lord, I forgot how big these things were. So let's do this. We'll just hit R to zoom. Hit that, hit that. Let's put a cooling platform down because you need a cooling platform for the thing to sit on. So you put the platform down and then you put the building on it. What I need is I need a steam stack. Right? And then what we'll do is we'll take a pole, what is not a pole? A pipe, and we'll just go from there to there. And what this thing will do is it will when steam comes in here, it gets rid of it, right? I don't even think it needs a power. Yeah, it doesn't even need a. It doesn't even need a power supply. It just it's fix-it magic, right? So after that, what we need to do is I need a couple of boxes. So let's get one storage container there, and hang on, what does this make? 120, that's 90. All right, so if it's going at full, we'll put a Mark II there, and then if I got one over there, then I need one over here. So one storage container there. Get a Mark II belt there. And then I need a storage container here. With a Mark II belt to go into there, like that. And then before we go any further, we need water. All right, we haven't unlocked the water pumps. However, in Satisfactory Plus, we get a mini water extractor, right? Well, before we put that down, I need to know where we want it to be. So let's get a floor hole. Here. Logistics. One floor hole. I think you'll work. Let's get a pipe. Put that there. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Well, you know what? Let's put that there then. See if that does it any better. Much better. much better. Okay, now I can put down the water extractor. So we know it needs to be roughly here. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is just for representation factors. Nope. This. So we'll just put that here. And what these bad boys do, we'll do, they can do 75 water per minute. We just need 60, so 1 is fine. And then all I gotta do is get a pipe from here to there. Let's do vertical. And just to be on the safe side, I don't know if I need it or not, but we'll go ahead and put a, yeah, where is my, we'll put a pump, on there. Okay. Now all I have to do is get this hooked up. So let's see. Let's put a power pole here. Go from there to there. There to there. I've got a power pole up here somewhere. I've got to find for. Well, here we'll just put you here, there, and then there, and that should put everything on the grid. Now all I have to do is it this one? Sort that. Take all that, sort it again so you understand there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll put it into here. Let's grab the drone out again, and is that a Mark II belt? Nope. I guess it is a Mark II belt. Alright, yeah. What's the problem? Oh, you have to be crushed iron. Well, this is what happens when I don't, fine. We'll put a crusher down. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doggone it. There. And now, because I put a crusher down, I need a box. Man, I thought I was going to be so suave and sophisticated and would have this. Yeah. Doesn't work that way. And we'll just run this down here like that, and then run it into there like that, and power to there. And actually, you know what? Can I make that a Mark? No. 3. Make it Mark IIs so it goes faster. Give it a recipe of crushed stearite. Oh, wait a minute. This is still not going to be enough, is it? Because this is iron. Doggone it. Really? It's got to be crushed iron. I got to run it through a sorter too. Give me a minute. Let me fix this. This is frustrating. I'll be right back. At the time of this recording, we have 66 subscribers in the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Help us get to 100. Got it all laid out. Should have read the directions the first time. But you know what? this is what happens. Let's get the drone out. So we've got the ore coming out here, right? Coming into a crusher, being crushed. We're getting the rock put over here. The crush is being fed into here, into the sorter. The sorter is going to come over here, and we're going to get iron. Please tell me you're crushed iron. You are crushed iron. You are crushed iron. All right, maybe the... Okay, now she's working. All right, let's get the drone back out. So this is gonna make crushed iron. This is gonna melt it into liquid. It should come out of here into this pipe and go into there. Then this will start working in theory. Now the question is it? All right, so all right, we are making molten. Not very fast, but we're making it. So it's coming over here. We do have water. It is making ingots, and we get steam, right? So the steam is going to come over here, and once it you see it just turned on and got rid of it. So once it gets what it needs, it gets rid of it. And we should have ingots coming out. Are ingots only coming out of one side? I wasn't sure if it would come out of both sides or not, so I put boxes down for each one. All right, so it looks like it's not going to come out of this one. Maybe this is for another byproduct when you have an alternate byproduct other than what you're making. So we've got ingots going. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna let this run. We're gonna come back and we're gonna compare what's in the boxes. Just to give you a heads up of how things are going. We've almost got all of the ore out of the box into the system. And we have 71 so far. Now, that's Mark II. That's not a Mark II. We can increase that to Mark II. Let's go check out the other line and see how it's doing. It may be done. It definitely looks like it's done. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 600. So we got what we thought we'd get out of it. Now the question is, going through all this rigmarole and hoopla, are we going to get more than 600? And how much more than 600 are we going to get? Place your bets, right? Do you think it's just going to be nominally, like 5 or 10%? Or do you think it's going to be major, like, I don't know, 150%, 50%, 75%? Put a comment in the comment section. Let me know what it is that you're thinking. And I'll bring you guys back when this is being. That's not funny, dude. I'll bring you guys back when it's done. All right, we're back. They're both done doing what they're supposed to be doing. But then I realized, hang on a second, we're not comparing apples to apples. We're comparing apples to oranges because this one has a sorter and this one doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and configure this to a sorter and get 600 more of the ore, and we'll run it through here. That way we're comparing true numbers to each other, because right now we're not comparing true numbers to each other because the sorter, you get less iron ore out of the sorter. So give me a few minutes, let me get this taken care of. And I apologize, right? I wish I had read the directions a little more carefully and had this properly set up, but you live and you learn. This is what happens when you don't follow directions sometimes. All right, I'll be back in just a little bit. All right, we're back. Got it all set up. And just to prove to you that there's nothing in the system, we will go look at every box and every machine. I don't want anybody accusing Jab of cheating. Let's take that out of there. And here's the starter box. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I sort it, I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go ahead and put all that into the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's what it's going to do. Let's get the drone out. So the box is going to feed the crusher. The crusher is going to come over here, and it's going to put rock into there. It's going to put crushed stearite into here, into the sorter. Anytime, sometime today. Yeah, you have a recipe. You have, all right, there it is. It's going to go through the sorter. The sorter is going to come over here, and we're going to get crushed iron going through here. We're going to get the tin and the rock going into those two things. When the crushed iron comes into the smelter's going to take it, make it into ingots, and put it into this box. So then what we'll do is we'll compare, because now this setup is the same as that setup, except we've added the 2 new buildings to it. Basically, what we get out of the rock and the tin should be the same, and we'll verify it's the same, and then we'll just see what the differences is in between what it makes in ingots. Now in this setup, I'm guessing there's probably going to be maybe a 20% increase. Not 100% sure if that's accurate or not, but we'll find out. So I'm going to let this run, and when it's done, I'll bring you back. I need a cup of coffee. I'm a little frustrated. All right, I'll catch up with you all a little bit. All right, we're back, and the box is empty. That is done. That is done. That is done. So the grand total we got is 450 out of 600 ore. So this is how it would be the way we were doing it. And while we're doing it, let's check out the other boxes just for grins and giggles. There's 300, there's 200, and then how much over here? 250. All right, cool. Now let's take a look at this setup. And I didn't do any shenanigans, right? It's empty. No, that's looking at the box. That's empty. That's empty. We've got 240 in the box there. We've got 300, 200, basically the same. In here we have a little bit of residual. Over here we have a little bit of residual. Over here we got absolutely nothing. And all right, drum roll. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 636. All right, so let's do some math here. So if we got 636 and we minus the 450, we have a difference of 186 ingots, right? So if I do the math right and I go, all right, 186 divided by 450 is a 41% increase, right? And if you don't believe that, then let's do it this way. 450 times 1.41 is 634.5. So it's a 41% increase of doing what we're doing here, which, you know what, that's a pretty good jump considering that everything else is equal. However, right, we can do better. And you're like, well, what do you mean we can do better? Well, hang on a second. Remember I told you that there's another there's a washing step. Well, in order to do the washing step, we need to get basic brass production going, and we'll get that going here in just a second. I think I have everything I need in my pocket to send that up to Ada. And oh, here's the other thing. Remember I told you I was going to make the jelly jump because of I was coming up here to get stuff and I was tired of hurting myself coming down. So now, right, I've got the jelly jump. So I don't hurt myself anymore. Yeah, fix it. It frowns upon you when you damage yourself. All right, so let's do this. Let's set this up. Let's set this up. That and that. And boom. All right. So what that does is that gives us the ability to I've got one of those machines over here. We can make brass parts now, right? And if we look at the recipe, we can make molten brass, and that takes zinc and molten copper to make molten brass, right? And then we can send the molten brass over here to make brass ingots. So molten brass and water makes brass ingots and steam. You're like, well, that's cute. Why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why it's important. Because we need to unlock this thing called a washer. And the washer is right here, basic ore washing. But we need brass pipes. Brass pipes, we just unlocked the ability to make brass pipes. And you're just like, well, why don't we do it any other way? This is the only way to make brass ingots. I can't make brass ingots any other way than this. So what the wet washer will do is it says it over there. No, stop it. It purifies the material through washing with the fluid, and then we get a byproduct, right? Now, the cool thing about the byproduct is it gives us, if we run it through another machine, it gives us more stuff to work with. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put together a system to basically get our 75 brass pipes, right? We just need 75 brass pipes to unlock the wet washer. And then after that, we're at the situation where I can basically, you know, put a thing down and basically go, all right, this is where our ingots are being made. And then we can start shipping our ingots out to wherever to make whatever. All right, if that's a little confusing, don't worry. It will all work out in the long run, and we'll actually be able to start making, looking at the space elevator parts that we need to make, and actually, you know, get some production facilities laid out and getting things going. But it took us to the point to get to this, right? This is the linchpin. Yeah, the linchpin that holds everything together. And then once we do this, everything is going to get a lot easier. You know, basic steel production, no big deal. It's making steel products, which is basically the same way that we're going to make the ore. We can look at other things. There's Mark III logistics. Into the future, we've got hydroelectric power, which is super cool. Advanced manufacturing, we got hypertubes. We can upgrade to twos, and here's where we get to real water extractors instead of the miniature versions. There is a Mark III, which is a 6x6x6, which is going to come in handy, and a hover pack. Never used a hover pack. I don't even know if I would want a hover pack, but it's something to think about. So let's come up here and just stop and think for a second. All right. So now you guys know what the future upholds. If you think a 41% increase is good, wait until you see what the washers do. Basically, if my math is right, I can take a pure node of 120 ore a minute, and I think I can change that 120 ore into 450 iron ingots a minute. I believe that's what the math is. I could be slightly off, but it's not over exaggerating, right? It's a substantial increase. All right, guys, if you made it this far, you guys are rock stars, and I greatly appreciate it. Sorry about all the confusions and the kerfuddles about not properly laying everything out, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes I get it on the mark, and sometimes, man, I just miss it, and I just have to pick up the fumble and run with it anyway. All right, guys, if I don't see you between now and then, have a fantastic week. And as always, happy farming.